get that feeling? You're being followed? I've had it. A lot. I don't know. I guess the amount of horror movies I watch and creepypastas and horror games, it's not good for you. But there's a saying. Just because you're paranoid, I love these words. Just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean they're not out to get you. I had a friend, a good friend. I met him maybe a year or two after I moved. His name was Nord. N-O-R-D, like the keyboard company. Oh man, he loved video games. You know, his favorite video game in the recent years was Slender, of course. I mean, I love horror movies, but this guy was a nut for horror stuff. He lived it, he drank it, he breathed it, he ate it. Horror was literally his life. And I always thought that was part of the reason. But he never thought so. He always said, no, there is someone after me. There was someone following me or something. But he was a very shy guy as well. And also very, very paranoid. I mean, I'd walk down the street and even if I was listening with my headphones blasting, I don't know, Jeff Wayne or something, he's singing about how Martians are going to come for our planet, but I'd still look behind me, almost certain that there's someone following me, but I couldn't see anyone. Nord had been dealing with this for pretty much his entire life. And I don't know, he was a weird guy when I met him. I mean, I'm a weird guy. I'm into cool, weird stuff. But I don't know, he always he took it a little too literally sometimes. Like, he'd read the creepypastas and he'd be like, oh no, Slender Man is real, oh no. But I don't know, I always looked at it with a skeptical eye. Yes, there were scary stories, but that's all they were stories. So I guess when he told me everything, I just thought it was part of a story he read that his mind had taken and mashed into his psyche, making him think it was real. Yeah, he took me aside one day. Well, he didn't take me aside, I was over at his house. What movie? I think we were just finishing up Hellraiser, the first one, when he looked over to me and he was quite seriously looked at me and said, right, you know how I'm always a bit paranoid? Well, I think I trust you enough I can tell you the truth. So we did. He explained that he's been living with this kind of paranoia for, I met him, he was 12. About 10 years of his life. Well, let's put it this way. 10 years of his life that he understood what paranoia was. 10 years he'd be dealing with it. He always looking over his shoulder, always thinking there was something behind him. And I mean, he was a good friend. I listened to him, I nodded, like, yes, I understand. But he just seemed he seemed fine. He didn't seem like he'd go missing or anything. So he told me this, and I thought in my brain that maybe he was just a bit crazy. I mean, all he did was watch horror movies and read creepypastas and play horror games. I don't know. And he got really obsessed with Slender, and that doesn't help when something is literally following you in that game. But no, he just seemed like it was part of a creepypasta that had been mashed into his brain and he thought it was real. So I listened, I nodded, the usual, you know, I understand, mate, you know how you feel. And that was that. We went on as if he hadn't told me anything. And then one day, he changed. Like, not physically, but the way he acted was different. He was more paranoid than usual, if that makes sense. Instead of just checking his shoulder, he looked behind him like a rabbit being hunted by a fox. He had bags under his eyes because obviously he hadn't slept in weeks out of, I guess, fear of something getting him. He was a good guy. None of us really expected him to go. I mean, told this to me in confidence, and I kept it safe and quiet and to myself. And I got worried when he was getting more paranoid. You see, he was a good friend. Well, we finished school, high school, and I moved up to a big city in the north of Alberta or Edmonton to take schooling, and he just kind of stayed. Just growing more paranoid, I guess. Lost contact about a year ago. And that was that. I bring this up because just yesterday, not just yesterday, about a week ago really is when it began, I got an email from him, from Nord. And it wasn't even a long email, it was like, it just said, "Hi, I need to show you something." So, he kept reading, and it was like, he explained that what he wanted to show me was a picture he'd drawn. It was a scribbled mess, to be honest, of pencil on paper. It looked like something out of the Slender game. And it was this weird... Have you ever read H.P. Lovecraft? The way he describes some things, like it was about shape of a barrel with tentacles and that kind of stuff. That's what it was like. The thing on this paper was, I don't know, humanoid, definitely. Normal length legs and arms, I guess. But its face, he had scribbled it out. He'd kind of scribble. And I don't know. I looked at it and I could just think, okay, obviously you've gone a bit more crazy in the years since I knew you. But I kept reading and he said, like, this picture is what is following me. And I was confused, and I emailed him back asking, like, hey man, you okay? What do you mean this is the thing following you? And a day went past, and I got another email back, and it was, again, a shorter email saying, you know how I told you that I felt something was following me? And I know you think I was crazy, but that he had hit the point where he had looked back, and then he started to see it. He had seen it for the first time about a week before I left for university. He had seen it for the first time, and he thought it was just a glimpse out of the corner of his eye. Like, if you move quickly and there's an open doorway, you might see something there for a split second. That's all it was. Split second sight. But then he began seeing it, but not in the corner of his eye. He'd look behind him and he would see it standing at the end of a street. The email ended and I responded asking, are you okay, man? Do you need to talk? There was no response. Until a day ago, I got a phone call. Frantic phone call. I picked up the phone. It was just, I guess it was him, but he sounded too scared, too skittish. Not the Nord I remember. His breathing was staggered. Some sort of like gravelly, like he'd been screaming a lot, and just honest terror in his voice. He was saying, never look behind you. Never. It will find you. It will start to follow you. It will find a way to get to you. And he seemed to go quiet as there was a knock at his door. I don't know, I couldn't make out what he was saying. It was like, I don't know how to describe it. It sounded like his name, but if you had taken a recording on magnetic tape, put it in a blender, then taped it back together in no specific order, it was distorted, garbled nonsense. He went quiet, and then the next thing I knew, he was just screaming. It was horrible, horrible scream, like the kind of, your vocal cords are being destroyed by the sound you are making kind of screaming. And then the phone went dead. Not like a hang up, like disconnection, like the bleep, 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 beep, the disconnection tone. I don't know. I don't know if it was crazy nonsense of some old mad friend of mine. Maybe it was just a joke. Maybe he's just trying to play with me because he knew I loved horror and creepy stuff just as much as he did. Or maybe the more terrifying thought is that it happened. I've tried calling him back, I've tried emailing him, but nothing. I tried phoning his mother, like his old home phone, because he hasn't moved. And all I got was someone who picked up the phone, asked who it was. I was like, it's me, it's Lewis. I'm trying to contact Nord, and just silence, and it's like, who's Nord? As if I was calling the wrong number, but it wasn't. I checked it 5 times. It was the right number. He was a good friend. If you ever have the feeling you're being followed, if you ever feel that there's something behind you, never, ever look back. Because one day you might just start to see what's following you. And then maybe it'll catch up to you. I tell you this story as a caution. And because the paranoia has begun to grow within me as well. I've always had paranoia, as I've said, but it's just been getting worse and worse. I don't know. I just feel like whatever got gnawed might be coming for me. Maybe it's just the horror stuff I've watched getting to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's just gonna happen too. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess this is the end. Goodbye.
No!